In the wake of the 2020 elections, deemed the most secure in American history by officials of the previous administration, former President Trump told a lie, a big lie, that the election was stolen. Without proof or evidence, the former president and his allies repeated this lie over and over again, poisoning faith in our democracy and fomenting an armed insurrection at the Capitol. And now, in states across the country, Republican legislatures have seized on the big lie to restrict the franchise and inevitably make it harder for African Americans, Latinos, students, and the working poor to vote. Here in the 21st century, we are witnessing an attempt at the greatest contraction of voting rights since the end of Reconstruction and the beginning of Jim Crow. All across the country, Republicans no longer want to let the voters pick their politicians. They want to let politicians pick their voters, deliberately targeting all the ways that younger, poorer, and non-white Americans typically access the ballot. These laws are about one thing and one thing alone: making it harder for Americans to vote. They are reprehensible in my judgment. They are anti-democratic in the judgment of most, and they carry the stench of oppression. In democracy, when you lose an election, you try to persuade more voters to vote for you. You don't try to ban the other side from voting.
This legislation will let Washington Democrats dictate the terms of their own re-election races by rewriting all 50 states' election laws. Popular safeguards, like voter ID, would be neutered. Ludicrous practices, like ballot harvesting, would be mandatory coast to coast. Democrats have a narrow majority in the House and a 50-50 Senate, but they want to make themselves the Board of Elections for every county and state in America. This has gone from an election security bill to an ethics bill to a racial justice bill. Who knows what it'll be labeled tomorrow? But what doesn't change is the substance, because the intention doesn't change. The Democratic Party, on its own, wants to rewrite the ground rules of American politics for their benefit. Let's call it what it is. Put aside the flowery language. This is a partisan effort to take over how you conduct elections in our country.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.